I wanted to talk to you today about creative confidence.
Hari ini saya ingin
I'm going to
berbicara
start way
tentang
back in the
kecerdasan
third grade at Oakdale
Saya akan
School
mulai
in
dari kisah
Barberton,
saya kelas
Ohio.
3 SD.
I remember one day my best friend Brian was working on a project.
Saya ingat suatu
He was making a
sahabat
horse
saya,
out of the
Brian,
clay
mengerjakan
that our
proyek.
teacher kept under the
Dia
sink.
melihat kuda dari tangan
And at one point, one of the girls that was sitting at his
ditaruh di
table,
bawah wastafel oleh guru kami.
seeing what he was doing, leaned over
Dan
and said
suatu
to him,
ketika seorang siswi duduk di
"That's
sebelahnya
terrible.
melihat
That
apa
doesn't
yang
look anything like a
dilakukan.
horse."
Dia bersandar dan berkata,
Right?
"Jelek sekali,
And Brian's
sama sekali
shoulders
tidak
sank,
terlihat
and
seperti
he
kuda."
wadded up the clay horse and he
Lalu
threw it back
Brian
in the
langsung
bin.
menunduk.
I kind
Dia
of never
melepas
saw
kuda
Brian do
tanah
a
liat
project
dan
like that
melemparnya ke tempat sampah.
ever again.
Saya
And I
tidak
wonder
pernah
how
melihat
often that
Brian
happens,
mengerjakan
you
proyek
know?
seperti itu lagi.
It seems like when I tell that story of Brian to my
Tampaknya
class, you see, a lot of them want to come up
saat
after
saya
class and
menceritakan
tell me
kisah
about their
kisah
similar
ini
experience, how a
kepada
teacher
siswa
shut
saya,
them down or
banyak
how a
orang yang
student
datang
was
setelah
particularly
kelas
cruel to
selesai
them.
dan mengatakan
And they
pengalaman
some kind of
mereka yang serupa.
opt out of thinking of themselves as
Bagaimana
creative
Anda
at that point.
mematikan
Right?
rasa percaya
And I
diri
see
mereka.
that opting out that happens in
Beberapa
childhood,
memilih
and it
untuk menganggap
moves
diri
in and
mereka tidaklah
becomes more
kreatif sejak
ingrained
saat
even
itu.
by the time you get to adult
Dan
life.
saya melihat pilihan yang diambil pada masa anak-anak
So
masuk dan
we see
menjadi
a lot of
semakin
this.
tertanam.
You know,
Hingga Anda
when we
dewasa.
have a
Kita
workshop
sering
or we
melihat
have
hal
clients
ini.
in to work with us
Saat
side
saya
by
mengadakan
side,
lomba karya,
eventually we get to the point in the process that's
saat
kind of
ada
fuzzy or
pelanggan yang
unconventional.
dengan kita,
And eventually these big
akhirnya
shot
kita
executives whip out their
sampai pada saat
BlackBerries
yang tidak jelas
and
dan
they
tidak
say they have to
biasa,
make really
dan
important phone
akhirnya
calls and they head for the
para
exits.
eksekutif besar itu mengeluarkan BlackBerry mereka.
And they're just so uncomfortable.
Dan mereka
When we track them down and
harus
ask them what's going on, they say something like,
karena
"I'm
ada
just
hal yang
not the
penting."
creative type."
Dan
But we know
mereka
that's not true.
melangkah keluar dan
If they stick with
mereka
the
menjadi
process,
tidak
if they
nyaman.
stick with it, they end
Saat
up
kami
doing
melacak,
amazing things. And they surprise themselves
mereka
just
dan
how
menanyakan apa yang
innovative
terjadi.
they
Mereka
and their
berkata,
teams
"Saya
really
bukan orang
are.
yang kreatif, namun kita tahu, namun
So
kita
I've been
tahu itu
looking
tidak
at this
benar.
kind of
Jika
fear
mereka tetap
of judgment
melakukannya, dan
that we
akhirnya
have,
mereka
you know,
akan
that you don't
melakukan
do
hal yang
things,
tidak
you're afraid you're going to be judged. If you don't, say the right